Welcome to the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick. Brought to you by Advanced Rehab, H&H Lifestyles, St. Simon Seafood, Urgent Med 1, Golf Cart Wholesale, Parker's, Jessup Furniture Outlet, Yates Astro, and by Locos. Now here is your host, the voice of the Frederica Academy Knights, John Wetzler.
All right, well, welcome to the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. I am John Wetzler, on location at Locos Grill and Pub, where we have been and will continue to be each and every week on Wednesday nights at 7 for this season. This segment of the Brandon Derrick Coaches Show is sponsored by Locos Grill and Pub, Urgent Med 1, Advanced Rehab, St. Simon Seafood, H&H Lifestyles, Golf Cart Wholesale, Parker's, Jessup Furniture, and Yates Astro. And now joining us, the head coach of the Frederica Academy Knights, Coach Brandon Derrick. Coach, how are you?
Doing well. Tired of the rain.
Well, we were doing the radio show up there at Bethesda last week, and the announcer said that this was their 275th anniversary. And I looked, and I was like, what? I mean, that school's been around for 275 years.
I did not know that.
207, that's older than America.
Yeah.
But, it's funny when I hear people talk about tradition and different things like that. I was like, beat that, GHSA.
Yeah.
But, Bethesda was a good school. I mean, they were a tough school. They're undefeated this season. And we knew going into the game that we had a bunch of returning running backs. Their quarterback was amazing. Their running backs were, they had a stable of running backs, and we really should have won the game or could have won the game, and yet that was a heavy competition. Some big old boys. Some of them were actors out there. Number 66, I guess it was.
He was trying to play LeBron James and do the flop all the time.
Yeah. But I thought we played great. But anyway, I was impressed that we came out there and played a good game against a really good team, non-conference, right?
Yes, non-conference. They're in Skeesa, the number one ranked team up there right now, 5-0. It's kind of like you. I felt like we played good enough. Like I said after the game, we kept shooting ourselves in the foot. Can't turn the ball over 3 times. We missed blocking assignments. We went over that on Monday. Monday was a real fun day for the kids in there, watching film of what we supposed to do and what we didn't do. And had we done it right, Jay Sean may have broke his neck numerous times hitting the goalpost on scoring touchdowns. And so trying to get that fixed was one block. We had it drawn up exactly the way we thought they were going to line up in it. That's the way we practiced it all week, and then we were going to turn out and let the guy run inside and tackle us. We thought we had it cleared up at halftime. We let him come inside a couple times, and then Jay Sean started taking a different track. We got a little frustrated. We showed our youth instead of doing what we're supposed to do. Our youth showed, but I also thought that our kids, even though that every time we find ourselves down 14 points, they find a way to get us right back in the game. It's a resilient bunch. If they'll just, from this point going on, if we'll take our fundamentals and what we've been coached and what we go over every day on a daily basis, this bunch can be really, really good.
Yeah, I was impressed. I've been impressed every week with the defense in particular. I mean, the offense has been shown flashes of brilliance on and off as well, but the defense has been pretty reliable. There was just that couple minutes in the late second half where Bethesda just came alive and they had potential and we all knew they had potential, and that potential turned into actual action there for about 4 minutes where they just bam bam bam, and that
we had a lapse on 4th down and 25, fake punt. We don't guard the guy. which was the end man on the line of scrimmage. So, of course, we got a freshman at corner. That was one of the touchdowns we gave them. We missed a lot of tackles in that 4 or 5 minute span. Didn't really do our assignments, kind of freelanced a little bit. I think in the first half they had almost 200 and something yards offense. Second half they had like 73 yards total offense in the second half. You would think that we would be more exhausted in the second half. They didn't score a point in the second half. The offense gave up 8 points on the fumble at the 5-yard line. Defensively, we played pretty well, but we weren't as tenacious as I wanted us to be up front, like we had practiced. We've been working on it a little bit this week. Well, I won't say a little bit, a lot this week, about being tenacious and doing your job. You either do your job, we're going to find somebody else that's going to go in and do it. And we're getting to that point. We got some kids that are stepping up that have come a long way that are still going to be freshmen, but they're going to play, and they're going to have to go in. They're going to have to make an impact. So we're going to push kids and push each other, and I think they've responded pretty well this week in practice. Been a little different. We didn't go out in no helmets and walk through on Monday. We went out and ran through on Monday in shoulder pads and helmet and hit each other and got to know each other a little bit better. And then the last 2 days we went about 15, 20 minutes longer in practice, and we've been hitting each other quite a bit. And on defense, I hope we played really solid. Offensively, I thought we looked pretty sharp. We got Hollis and Gavin back this week in practice, and I thought that sped up the offense. I thought it really made us look a little crisper, and I thought everybody was on the same page. It gives you more depth. Guys can roll in. So, I'm excited about this week, and we got to put last week behind us and grow from it.
Well, this is the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. We got about a minute and a half before we got to take a break, Coach. I was really talking a lot on the radio during the game about how many freshmen and sophomores we had out there that were making a significant impact, and especially when Hollisville just stripped the ball and took
Harry.
it. Yeah.
Harry took it.
I mean, that's what I meant Harry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Especially when Harry took the ball and ran down. We thought it was a touchdown, but we had to punch it in on after that. But at one point in time, I was counting. There was 6 or 7 very key guys out on the field that were underclassmen.
Yes.
And you start thinking about Jay Sean and Patrick Brunson and Harry Veal and John Mitchell Brock and all these sophomores and freshmen out there that are invested in your summer program, and we're playing teams that like Valwood, and we're getting people telling us how impressed they are with our progress in this nascent program we've got. And I don't know, it's exciting to me. It's exciting to me because my children are all in it, but it's exciting to me just for this community. And we're going to have a big test this week against yet another dominant team. As big of a test as Valwood, really. Isn't it?
You get to talking about it, and Bethesda ran out there. They had 36 guys on the team, 22 of them were seniors and juniors. We run out there with 31 kids, and we got 20 freshmen and sophomores. So it's a tell of the tape. It kind of flips, but I said Friday night I'm tired of talking about being young. So we've got 4 games in. We're experienced. We will be ready to go. We're going to put people in the fire. I think the kids have responded. They've come out and battled hard this week, and I think we're feeling pretty good about it.
Well, Coach, we're going to take a quick break. More to come on the Brandon Derrick Coaches Show on the Bishop Media Sports Network. Right now, we're going to take a word from our sponsors.
It's time to get together with friends and family to enjoy great games, great food, and a great atmosphere at Loco's on St. Simon's Island. Loco's has something for everyone with their classic sandwiches, fresh salads, and specialty burgers. And Loco's award-winning wings, from traditional boneless or slow roasted, means it's time to get your wings on. With football season starting, don't forget to catch the game at Loco's too. Be sure to like Loco's on Facebook to keep up with the latest. Have your friends meet you at the Moose. Tired of waiting hours to get in and out of the ER, or can't get in to see your doctor? The wait is over. Urgent Med 1 is a fully functioning urgent care clinic with highly trained professionals, on-site x-ray and labs that will get you in, out, and on with life. Open weekdays 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and weekends 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. or sign in online with ZipPass. Located off exit 36B on Highway 341, look for that MASH Jeep with the big red cross out front, ERGENT Med 1. Drive a few minutes and save a few hours. That back won't stop aching or that knee won't stop throbbing? Your answer is Advanced Rehabilitation and their staff of professionals. Locations in Brunswick and on St. Simons for your convenience. Go to the place that is trusted by student athletes all over the Golden Isles as well as professional athletes. Advanced Rehabilitation specializes in neuro and orthopedics and will have you back in the game in no time. Find a clinic near you, physicaltherapygeorgia.com. H&H Lifestyles on St. Simons Island is proud to sponsor this broadcast of the Frederica Academy Knights 2015 football season. From first downs and touchdowns to kickoffs and playoffs, the H&H team will be cheering on the Frederica team. H&H Lifestyles, appliances, bedding, audio, video, electrical, and security. Located in Retreat Plaza on St. Simons Island. Go Knights! Fresh local seafood on St. Simons Island. St. Simons Seafood, located at 2463 Demery Road. In the shops at Demery Plaza next to Loco's, has everything a seafood lover could want. Wild Georgia shrimp, crab cakes, flounder, you name it, and St. Simon Seafood has it. Seafood so fresh, it was swimming this morning. So stop into St. Simon Seafood and check them out on Facebook. St. Simon Seafood, the island's only fresh seafood market.
Welcome back to the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. I'm John Wetzler on location from Loco's Grill and Pub. This segment is brought to you by Loco's Grill and Pub, Urgent Med 1, Advanced Rehab, H&H Lifestyles, and by St. Simon Seafood. All right, Coach, well, we talked about Bethesda. They were a really talented team. They seem like they got more discipline this year. Last year it came down to the last play, and this year it was our game to win. Or at least we were in the game. Certainly in the game all the way through. But it's in the books, and it is what it is. Looking forward to this week, we got as big of a challenge on our hands as we've had all season, do we not?
Yeah, Robert Toombs, we know him well. We usually go to camp against them every year. They're a very good team. They got a lot of good skill players. Offensive line's going to come off the ball and drive block you. Defensively, they're going to get after you. It's going to be the quarterbacks and the wide receivers for them have been pretty much phenomenal when I watch them on film. They've done a really good job. They've lost a couple games to some 3A opponents, Pinewood and Bullock, who are in our region. So it's kind of been a good test for us to see where we're at, kind of that measuring stick. I think that our relationship with them makes it a fun, friendly rivalry, but I think once we kick off, it's pretty much down to business again. As Coach Smith and I, Coach Smith at Toombs and myself, we still converse. We talk usually every week about something, or he calls and asks advice, or I'll call and ask him advice. But no one called each other this week, so you could tell we were playing. So, I'm excited. I think the kids are excited. I feel like we got a good chance to go out and get some things corrected and put ourselves back in the win column, hopefully.
Well, last year they had Rico Rogers, who had scholarship offers from Oregon and among others.
Yeah.
He was a senior, so he's gone, and they also had, a myriad of other players that were just incredible athletes and beat us 45 to something or other.
Yeah.
This year, are they reloaded on Rico Rogers level talent or what?
I think they're a little bit like us. They got a lot of young kids that are sophomores. I got a lot of sophomore running backs. Wouldn't say that they're as senior loaded as they were last year. A little bit kind of like us. I think they've probably got more juniors and sophomores than we do like sophomores and freshmen. But I think it's going to be a good challenge. I think the kids have a great relationship with them, and we're going to go out there and take care of our business and we're going to get our mistakes corrected, and then that's what we worry about. Like I said the other night, Friday night after the game, if we'll worry about us, quit beating us, we'll start winning.
Yeah.
So we got to get up. We got to get us fixed, and then I think that we've worked on that pretty hard this week. It's been pretty challenging week of practice.
Well, you mentioned about kind of the frenemy relationship that we have with Robert Toombs.
Yeah.
This is what, the fourth? Is this the third or the fourth year that Frederica has done camp with Robert Toombs? Is this the third year? Or
It's the second year, actually.
Second?
Okay. We went to camp against them, but we played them every year.
Okay.
That it kind of started after that state championship year there when Frederica won it in 2012, and then next year Toombs won it. It kind of created a rivalry, but really it was a friendly rivalry. So for us, I think it's a good measuring stick. They're a very good program, and it's hopefully this direction. I want to see us going and getting in that capacity. I feel like our kids are taking the right steps right now.
Well, Coach, is there anything about? Well, I mean, last week we had to adapt from some injuries, and we had to kind of call some audibles from the line of scrimmage, about what we were going to do last week, and so we got Gavin back. Yeah, right. We got Gavin back this week. We got Hollis back. Is that right?
Yep.
So, is there anything about Robert Toombs in particular that you see us having an advantage or a disadvantage as you look at what we've got as far as our arsenal and theirs?
Yeah, there's a little bit different mentality. We're a perimeter edge team, so we're going to have to get on the edge. I say this every week, and get outside. But I feel like we can get on the edge and be physical with them, and then they're going to try to run the ball right at us. So we're going to have to be tough up front and the defensive line. So I think it kind of plays our strengths.
Well, you are listening to the Brandon Derrick Coaches Show on the Bishop Media Sports Network. We got about a minute and a half, Coach, before we got to take a break. But so, are you saying they got a lot of speed that we've got to deal with? Is that?
Well, they've got some speedy guys, but I think we have overall more team speed. When you get these guys back, Hollis and Jay Sean and Jalen and Gavin and all these guys, it gives us a dynamic where we can spread the field. Grant and Luckett, all those guys that come in and do a good job on the perimeter. If we can block on the perimeter and get the ball to the edge, we put pressure on them. They're pretty solid in the middle, so we got to kind of make them run from sideline to sideline and run them down. I think the thing that we actually have on them this year that we've not had in the past is a little bit of depth. What I've watched on film is they're playing the same kids, offense, defense, and special teams, so they kind of know how we felt last year, whereas this year we rotate people in and out in practice all the time, and so I think we got a little depth on them. I think we got to kind of wear them out in the first half, going sideline to sideline, and then kind of go at them, in the second half. And I said that last week, and we ended up spreading it out in the second half, tried to run right at them in the first half. But if we'd have done exactly what we had worked on all week, it probably wouldn't have been very close last week. But we've got a pretty good game plan offensively. Defensively, we've got to stop the run up the middle. They're going to block down, kick out, and we better fill it. If we don't, we're going to be in trouble. And, they're going to second down and short. We're going to throw it deep, first down, 10. He's going to take a shot. He's going to throw a fade. He's going to throw it probably 5 or 6 times deep down the field. And if his guy catches it 2 or 3 times, it's a touchdown. So we got to stop that from happening. If we keep that from happening, then we can stuff the run up the middle and make them do something that they don't like to do. I think we got a pretty good shot.
We just got to execute.
Yeah, execution is the key.
All right, well, we will be right back on the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports.
Looking to make your life more fun? Then check out GCW Carts. With top-of-the-line carts like Easy Go, Bad Boy, and Cushman, you can cruise the island or just around the neighborhood in style. Need to rent a cart? GCW Rental rents carts for long or short-term use, and they make it easy by delivering your cart to you and picking it up when you're finished. So remember, for brands like E-Z-GO, Bad Boy, and Cushman, visit GCW Carts in Brunswick at the corner of Cypress Mill Road and the Spur, or call 912-434-4601. Great food, snacks, and the best selection of energy drinks in the Golden Isles? Parker's. A day outdoors, coolers, suntan oil, beach chairs, ice? Parker's. Fresh fruit cups, salads, and Dippin' Dots? Parker's. Get your Pump Perks card and start saving on every gallon of gas today at Parker's. www.parkersga.com, a proud supporter of Frederica Athletics. Parker's, and let's go Knights! Looking for top quality furniture at prices that blow away the competition? Jessup Furniture Outlet. Ashley, Universal, Bassett, Lexington, and so many more. Jessup Furniture offers delivery and 12-month interest-free financing, located at 651 Scranton Road next to Old Times, or give Jessup Furniture a call, 912-267-1897. Also, find Jessup Furniture on Facebook. Jessup Furniture, your top quality furniture outlet that won't break your budget. You might not believe this fun football fact from Yates Astro Termite and Pest Control. In 1935, halfback Jay Haynes, for the University of Washington, scored all the points on both sides of the ball. He ran for 1 touchdown and was hit for a safety. The final score was 6-2. Yates Astro is on offense and defense in ridding your home of termites and protecting you from future invasion. Call Yates Astro. They've been protecting area homes and businesses since 1928.
All right, welcome back to the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. I'm John Wetzler on location at Loco's Grill and Pub. This segment is brought to you by Parker's, Golf Cart Wholesale, Yates Astro, and by Jessup Furniture. All right, Coach, well, we started to get into talking about Robert Toombs and what to expect. We were talking about they got a lot of speed and maybe a little more upperclassmen, but not necessarily more experience than us. And it seems like from what we've been talking about, the advantage, if we have an advantage this week, it's that we've actually got replacements. We've got reinforcements.
Yeah.
Something we did not experience last year, and so that's something that doesn't necessarily mean we don't have to execute every play, because we do, but coming into this game, I think it gives us, from what you've been telling me, it gives us a lot of reason for hope.
Yeah, the depth, I think the kids have worked themselves into understanding what we're doing, and that they practice hard. I mean, we lost Tyler Pierce at right tackle this week, so Michael Tyndall, who's started the game already, he'll be starting at right offensive tackle. It's another freshman going down the field.
He's a pretty big freshman.
Yeah, he's a pretty good-sized kid, and he's been giving us a great effort this week, and he's going to be in there, and then we're going to probably roll in Hunter Stephan a little bit on the defensive line. He's been giving us great effort. Chappie Rowland will be rolling in at guard. Chappie's been playing pretty much all season, so he's kind of an experienced kid. He goes in, he gives guys breaks on that offensive line, we've had to shuffle a few people around. We've got a little bit of the stomach bug, but I feel like the kids have done a good job this week of coming out and getting themselves prepared. They were really focused yesterday in practice. Today, they just worked hard. I thought they got after it. We hit each other pretty hard. We beat up on each other. Really physical practice. I think at one point they were like, Coach, how many more plays are we going on defense? I think we practiced defense for about 35, 40 minutes today, trying to just get the scheme down. And we put in some new defensive fronts and a few things to try to contest the running lanes up there. We've done a few things to set it up. But, I think that these kids have done a good job to prepare. And, you got guys on our offensive line that know 2, sometimes 3 different positions that can rotate around. And they've done a good job of getting themselves ready.
So which games that we have left? I mean, we haven't played any region games yet, correct?
No.
So which games that we play count in terms of our posture for the postseason?
Well, not this week. Robert Toombs is non-region, but next week, Trinity will be when we start the region. We'll play 4 straight. Those will be region games, and the last game, Mondon, will be non-region.
Okay.
So, we got this week to get ready, and, not really experiment. Let's just get everybody ready, get everything fine-tuned, and I'm starting to see us get a little bit more efficient in practice and things like that. So kind of excited about our efficiency on offense and defensively. We just got to get physical and read our keys and do our job.
Well, it seems to me that you as a coach and as an athletic director, Coach Wilson and you and the rest of the coaches, you got to kind of make a decision on these non-region games. You want to go out and play teams that you can beat up on and build up some sort of false sense of security, or do you want to go out and play the best? And we've chosen this year, it appears, in our preseason, our regular season non-region games, we've chosen to play the best of the best. It's kind of like it doesn't work for me because I've never gotten better at golf. But some of my friends who play golf and are actually improving tell me that when they play golf with better golfers than themselves, they actually learn something. Yeah. I haven't been able to do that, but I'm assuming that metaphor could translate into football.
Yeah, my saying is a little bit Ric Flairish. If you want to be the man,
nature one.
If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man.
That's right.
So for us, I've always been that way. Even when I was head coach up at Central, everybody used to say, "Well, why do you play all these teams that are so difficult to beat?" At one point, I think when I was up there, we played the 3 state champions in the spring, and our 2 fall scrimmages were against state champion programs. And somebody said, "Coach, we're going to play people in scrimmage games that are going to be 10 times harder in the game." I said, "Well, that ain't going to be easy." And that's kind of my motto with our guys is if we go out there and play those teams that are the best in our classification and some of the best teams around, then we know what the best competition looks like. It's not like it's going to sneak up on us.
Right.
So, but you got to look at it also. Our region is pretty good. Trinity's always in the middle of it. Pinewood was a state runner-up last year. Bullock's undefeated right now.
I want Bullock.
Yeah, and Edmundburg they have a pretty steep tradition, and so when you look at that, it's kind of where are we at and where do we want to be? Do we want to stay right here and talk about beating the lower level teams, or do we want to go out and beat the tipped areas, somebody we had never beat that's pretty good?
Yeah.
And then sometime later on, we're going to beat the Bullocks and we're going to beat the Pinewoods. We're going to beat some of those teams, and I want to be present when we beat those teams.
That's right.
The mid to lower level don't help us get better.
Well, this is the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. Coach, we've only got a few more minutes left, but what do you think the best way to explain what our objective is on offense and defense for Friday night?
Offense, don't turn the ball over and execute your blocking assignments. And on defense, tackle well. We're going to have people in the places to make plays. I went back and watched the Toombs film last year. Our kids were in the places to make plays. We just didn't tackle them. I didn't know if it was we didn't want to tackle them or we just didn't tackle them. So I went back and I've watched the last 3 years of us playing Toombs, to see what it was. Was it the scheme? Were we just totally out-schemed? Or was it we just missed tackles or didn't make plays? And when I went back and looked, we missed tackles and didn't make plays. It's not been the scheme so much as it's been what we've been doing, execution. So I think the kids understand that too. I think the kids realize, I showed them a little bit of film. We talked about it with some of them. They're like, "Yeah, you're right, Coach. It wasn't so much as we were just out of place. It was just we just didn't make the plays at times." And so, don't have a wholesale change. We've got a few tricks up our sleeve that we're going to put in, but offensively and defensively, the game's going to come down to a few things: no turnovers, blocking, tackling. If you do those 3 things really well, you're going to win 80% of your games. So
fundamentals.
It's the fundamentals of football. We kind of got back to it this week. We worked a lot of perimeter, a lot of inside drill. Felt like our kids did a good job of trying to understand what we were trying to get across to them, and I feel like they're going to come out. I think it'll be a pretty good environment. The kids will be energized, and I'm kind of excited to go play. and I think they are too. They've had a pretty tough week of practice.
Well, we're all excited, Coach, and we're excited about what you're doing and what the whole coaching staff and what the players are buying into. I know the fans are buying into it, parents and everybody that's just excited to see football here. But we are out of time, and thank you all for joining us again for the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. Come out to Locos every Wednesday night, Locos Grill and Pub, and join us for the Coaches Show. With that, I'm John Wetzler signing off.